listening to MCPodcasting.
You know, I just want to make sure it's perfect for us. Perfect for the listeners.
3,
2, 1. What's happening, lad?
What episode is this?
110?
110.
110 episodes.
I think it's the first episode we've done just us in a while.
Yeah, because last week was the first episode we're actually in the same room and someone decided to do
I
a
can't
Skype.
believe it. That was hilarious.
Why did you want to do a Skype call?
I was like, the first time in ages we're back in the same room and we're using Skype still. I was like, what the fuck's that about?
It was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
It's just the quality is not great. I think it frustrates me listening back on it, like, because I'm very paranoid anyway with how we sound. Not you per se.
I'm not really, because I sing class.
Don't know what the bit of like for me it's always been like, okay, make sure the sound quality's there, you know what I mean, because in terms of content like podcasts are all different now. I'm sure there's podcasts I listen to which you wouldn't go near and vice versa, so it's not about like content. For me it's always about like if it sounds decent, and if it sounds bad then that pisses me off, especially when we spend a few hours recording. You want it to be decent enough, you don't want it to be like somehow.
But I think what we're doing right now, this is the best we can get this to sound.
Yeah,
it's just you and I.
Well, in case you get until you get a better microphone.
Until we get a better mic, yeah. I
think we need to. This wire's coming loose constantly. That
Which
one sounds good.
Yeah, we'll get another, maybe an upgraded version of that or something.
I kind of miss that one. I used to have that one. That used to be my one.
You gave it to me though.
Yeah, don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Don't swap.
No, just stay where we are. Stay where we are.
It's just, yeah, because I feel like this one you need to talk right into it. Well, you're from a distance. So it's like here sounds okay, but here sounds so far away.
That's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Close. Far. Close. Far. Anyway, what's crack?
Very little, mate.
Oh Jesus
Bars
Christ.
back open.
So you're right.
Yes, had a few drinks yesterday for the first time in a while. Like actual first fucking pint, like
Proper
proper
pint?
fucking pint of
You
Guinness.
never ordered pints the
No.
way
No.
everyone else was doing? No.
Everyone was that like? Did everyone just agree that everyone ordered pints?
Everyone was ordering pints.
I didn't
Every
order.
bar
any
was
pints.
opening up, doing takeaway pints.
Yeah, I didn't order any takeaway pints. So this is my first pint. I wouldn't get a takeaway Guinness, but
Same.
it's not the same.
It is the same.
I'm not paying a $5 to drink at my own house for a pint.
You pay a $5 to sit in a fucking
Exactly.
smelly bar.
But what do you mean? Everyone's been missing bars, mate. Everyone's been missing bars.
I think people miss socializing.
Yeah.
I don't think people miss bars.
Yes,
per
I
se.
do. You can't speak for people. People love bars, mate. People go to bars.
I'm speaking for everyone. Like
People
no one really,
love
no
bars.
one really missed bars.
People love live music. They love going to a
Oh,
bar.
that is the worst thing. I hate that, going to a bar and there's a guy
I love it.
trying to play.
Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, Green Day on guitar, on acoustics. Like, mates, stop it. You can't hear your mates. Here's some guy trying to do fucking like, fucking, I don't know, trying to sing and shit. Go away, mate.
You're really just not.
I hate
You
loud
just stay
bars.
inside, mate.
Yeah,
Okay, from now on.
I hate loud bars. I hate music in bars. It annoys me.
I like music in bars. I think there
It has
should
to
be
be
music in bars.
little.
Yeah.
Like, it very. But see, when you go to a place like Cuckoo, for example, and the music's blasting, but it's like
Yeah.
a bar environment, it's like, I can't talk to anyone in here.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. But we go to a bar and have a guitar store. Yeah, he's talented, but I want to chat to my mates. I don't want to fucking listen to these shit pop songs. You know, I don't want to hear a guy trying to play Ed Sheeran music. You know, if I want to listen to Ed Sheeran, I'll listen to Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like,
Yeah, but I'm really
I think
glad,
bars should close.
I'm
again.
really glad that you don't make these decisions and people can still go to the bars and enjoy the live music.
I'm sure a lot of people in bars don't like the live music.
But why do we have a guy playing on bars?
Exactly. When do you go here? Let's go to the Hellcat Maggie's.
No, I know.
No.
I was out with
No,
my
Stephen,
father.
just go. They have a guitarist. You're like, oh yeah, let's go now.
No, but
That never.
whenever we were out, especially maybe it's like an older thing as well, because if my man and dad are going, they always say like, hopefully someone's playing.
Really? Maybe it's an old thing.
So it's like my man always likes having someone there playing a bit of music or something. It just adds to the atmosphere.
But I think people add the atmosphere. Crack. People you're with. I always say
You can still have crack though, mate, and have someone play guitar in the background. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
but if it's
it's
too
too
loud,
loud, yeah.
there you go. That's what I mean.
yeah.
It's always too loud. Listen, and the best part of the night was when he's taking a wee break. He's like, I'll be back in a minute. Like, thank fuck. And then 2 minutes, you're like, oh, it's so good. And you're like, who wants to hear Wonderwall? For fuck's sake, mate. Seriously, that song's beat out now.
I remember we went for it was the World Cup, and me, my brother, and my dad went out to a bar, and everywhere was absolutely packed, and we could only get into this one bar near Botanic, and we'd never been in it before, and it was dead. But the football was on. We're like, happy days. We'll come in, and then we got a class seat right in front of the thing, and you didn't play the commentary of the match. We were only 3 people in it. They played live music, and no one could hear. It wasn't even like a guy playing guitar. It was just like the radio or whatever. They've just put on music. And we were all sitting there just to watch the match, and it was just literally listening to like fucking Madonna while the football was on. I was like, no wonder why there's no one in this. I think
you're coming around coming around.
Well, if I go out to watch a game of football, I don't want someone playing guitar. Yeah. Which I don't. But if I'm going out to
have a drink,
have a few
talk
drinks,
to your friends, you want a guy playing guitar?
I do.
You know, there's some bar we went to, and the guy was playing guitar, but he didn't sing. It was just a guitar. I was like,
my mate.
Yeah, I don't want to say that. Like, make that blend. Like, you know, what's the point of the?
Well, people like it, mate. That's why it exists.
But a lot of people don't like it. That's the problem.
I think we need to have like a vote then.
Yeah. Let's do a poll. I'll take North Belfast, you take South, and we'll just ask everyone individually, do you want...
What about East and West? We got Mickey will take East.
Proctor
I
don't want to go there, fuck. That was dodgy as fuck.
It's Proctor into the West.
But, for me, so you can go to the worst bar in the world and have the best crack, and go to the best bar and have the worst crack. You know what I mean? It's all about the people you're with. So,
of course it is, but people still miss bars. Of course they did.
Oh yeah.
That's all.
Oh, sorry, I was only taking a piss, but missing bars. I meant.
Fucking hell! I had a good time out yesterday, and I feel guilty for it. I'm like,
you're fucking sick today because of it. So maybe it was a bad pint.
That
fine. Guy's music fucking made you sick.
Oh, I'm fine.
No, I went into town as well. It was weird because you can't sit inside and just have a drink. You need to have food. So, and it was lashing. So I don't know how bars in Belfast are going to combat that. They need to have better tents.
It's gonna be, mate. It's
umbrellas.
This is gonna be a week or 2 of people doing it. 2 people in the bathroom, that kind of thing, and then it's gonna be
2 people. What?
People doing it in the bathroom. I'm joking.
What the fuck is that?
No, but like you're only like 2 in the bathroom at one time and all that other shit. But that like yesterday that they were doing that, and the later it went on, it was like there's one guy just come in, and the guy's like, when you have to go, you have to go. Like it's just like because there's like 4 urinals. And there was a toilet, so it fitted 6 people or so, or 5 people to actually use the bathroom. So this guy was like waiting outside, like dying to go to the toilet, and then you could see 2 free urinals. I was like, why the fuck am I standing here?
But I heard, I heard like they're not like police are not going to police it. The bars have to police themselves.
Yeah. You have to give your address and stuff.
What?
You have to give your address to the bars and what have you.
Oh, I give my name and number, not address though.
Yeah. Well, we had to give address.
You have like your bank card and all. Mate, that wasn't the bar.
Well, basically so like they have a record of everyone and where they live have been to that bar. So if say a positive test has been in that bar, then everyone who's went there has to isolate for 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
So which makes sense, like, but it's still fucking weird. Like
it is weird. I didn't know she was on about. She came asking for my number. I thought I was getting. I was like, my girlfriend's here. Stop talking to me.
But 07.
Text me Facebook later on. But yeah, it's weird.
You're like, this happens everywhere I go down. These people keep asking for my number.
What I won't even ask for my address. What's that about? It's like, come on, you're right here. But don't worry about it. I didn't text any of them, bar that fella. But I think it's gonna take 1 bar just to go fuck this shit.
Yeah.
And then they're all gonna follow suit. You know what I mean?
People, when you're drunk, you can't socially distance.
You can't.
You just can't.
Are you happy the bars open up, or should we social distance?
No. Well,
like, or should we still be in lockdown?
No.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
You're hardcore lockdown too.
No, I'm just. I feel like I've completed it. No, well, I think obviously like it's up to the government to police it and the fucking people to be responsible. But at the same time, you have to get back to some sort of normality. We were saying before, like it's not just a bar being open, and people say, you know, why did the gyms not open before bars? If it's all about health, you've opened up bars, but you haven't opened up people where they can go and exercise. Which I can kind of get the argument, but the thing is, it's not actually about health because. Whenever a bar opens, it's not just the bar. It's people then go, I need an outfit. Then they go to the shop and they buy an outfit because they're going out. I need to get my hair cut. Not me anymore. But I need to go get my hair cut because I'm going out that night. So you add that economy. You get a taxi down to the bar. You get a taxi home. When you get home, you go, fuck, let's get a wee Indian or Chinese or a pizza. And that's how the economy starts up again. Whereas gyms don't have anything like that associated with it. So they're like, we can afford not to open you yet.
Yeah. But
bars are like a hub where people go to and do all these different things.
There's a wee bit of a difference. Like there's bodily fluids flying around in
bars too.
Yes. You know, in gyms, like, but that happens in bars too, but not something meant to happen in bars. You know what I mean? Saliva and sweat flying across the room. But you know what I mean? Like, so,
yeah. And
for me, but to be fair, you can say the same about, I was going to say, well, gyms you can get away with it because you can just do work out in the house. You can just drink and eat in the house. You don't need to go out in bars. But it's about normality. Yeah. I think gyms will follow suit. They will open up.
They're opening up next week on Friday.
So there you go. Fucking what's the difference? 1 week.
Yeah, that's why I was like, why are they not opening at the same time?
Well, I think
it's just a phase thing.
Yeah, one thing's per week. And what's the week after? Cinemas or some shit?
I think cinemas are open now, are they not? No.
I haven't heard anything about them. That's gonna be good though for me personally.
Me
That's
too.
the only thing I'm like. I can get away not going to bars. To be fair, I like the idea of going to bars and meeting up and socializing. But I'm happy enough not going to bars because I can socialize outside.
Yeah, football, like, it's all this stuff's multifaceted. It's funny the way you don't even really think about it. Even having football back, like, it occurred to me that whenever there was no football, like, all the content that I watched, all the stuff that I read about is largely based around movies and football.
Yeah.
So everything I ever watch on YouTube, just when you're sitting there doing nothing, it's usually a football video or a movie video.
So when there's no football,
When there's no football,
movies,
I was like, it didn't even occur to me.
I'm boring as fuck.
When it came back again, I was like, I've got so many things to watch on my
Yeah.
phone. I've got so many things to look at now. And I was like, whenever I didn't have that, I wasn't doing that. Maybe that's a good thing, but it's like, football's so big that it gives us a talking point. Like, we come down, we talk about football, we talk about this, and if you take all that shit away, that's why cinemas come back's a good thing. That's why they need to try get new movies into the cinemas.
That's probably why our podcasts were so bad. During this
Nothing
lockdown,
to
we had
talk
nothing to talk about. You're like, so how's lockdown? You're like, yep, I did sit-ups today. I'm like, I did push-ups.
I know.
So that recycling, hey, it's good, isn't it?
Painted a wall.
Oh yeah, so where'd you buy your paint anyway? Do you
Just online.
Online, that's
online.
good. What colour did you go for?
I had great. Anyway,
You know what I mean? You get to the point where you can't. Every conversation we were having was about coronavirus, and I was
Yeah.
not saying it was born. Yeah, it was born.
it was born.
It was born, and then. As you said, you have so much more content on your phone now. Look at you go on YouTube. There's so much more videos now.
Yeah.
Like people, like I'm just watching people talk about football now, which we never got to see. But yeah, for me, normality is going to be movies, like cinemas.
Yeah.
But I can't see new movies being released.
Not for a while, because we were talking about it last week, and it's like whenever they have to do a marketing campaign for these things. So and it's even more important now because, like, some people will be afraid to go back into the cinema.
Like you're gonna want to go to see a good movie.
Yeah,
Like no
you're
one's
not gonna
go
right.
see
Fucking they're
Fast and the Furious.
They're re-releasing Halloween. That's go down, and like, you're not gonna fucking
You
want
hate
it.
Halloween.
I love Halloween, but like,
Always
but that's
attack it.
that's just they seem to put that in the cinema every year, though, don't they?
It's a good movie.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to re-release movies, and like, unless you're like a massive cinema fan, you're not going to go right here. We really need to go down to the movies because I've missed the cinema that much.
Yeah.
It's all about what you want to see.
It's all about a new movie you're
Yeah.
going to see. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I went to the cinema and seen like old movies before. Like I've seen Star Wars and
Yeah.
Back to the Future and shit. But I don't go to the cinema for that.
Yeah.
I go like just maybe experience that. But I want to go and see a new movie.
Yeah.
I love that excitement of not knowing the movie's going to be good or bad, or like looking forward to it for like.
And you also love coming out and talking about it after and being like, "What did you think of this?
that
and
was
this?"
so bad. Like you know when like
It's
yes,
like, I
good.
can't believe like the Megalodon was a bigger one that came after. And it's
I can't believe he swam and punched it. It's fucking amazing. Like what the fuck.
a Megalodon.
But like I think with the cinema, like I don't know what they're gonna do, and this could be the end of like the multi-cinema multi-complex cinemas now. I think because is there any need for like 14 screens in a cinema now? Do you really need that?
I know, and what's sad as well, because I've really struggled during this lockdown to actually concentrate. So I can't watch movies in the house. Well, I can, but it's hard. It's like whenever I'm like sit down and watch a movie, I'm just on my phone or I'm just leaving. But in the cinema, you have to focus on it. So I find it really hard to watch stuff in the house.
I find myself falling asleep
Yeah,
during movies, even though I'm really enjoying it.
yeah.
I'm like I go to the toilet and throw water in my face just to watch a movie. I'm like, what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
I used to get so excited for movies.
Or your girlfriend or something to go on your phone, and then you get annoyed. You're like, "You're not even watching this."
I know we're watching a movie like last week. It was the Denzel Washington movie, and then
Not Denzel.
yeah, it was good. It was a really bad movie though. It wasn't bad. It was okay. And then by the end of it, we were both on our phones and not watching the movie.
I hate that.
We got to turn us off. Like you know what I mean. But
You can't do it in the cinema.
But maybe it was because it was a bad movie. But I think it's also I can't stay concentrated.
Yeah,
And that's why
my attention span's gone these days. Like,
And that's
what?
why I've been and that's why I've been watching like older like things like reruns again. Like I started watching Person of Interest again and started watching Desperate Housewives again because I don't need to focus on it because I know what happens and it's amazing.
Desperate Housewives.
You know what's that before?
No, mate.
It's really good.
Anyway,
No, it's a really good. That's really fucking good. It's not as cheesy as you think. It's all about like murders and shit. On Wisteria Lane.
We can edit this out, man. It's okay.
It's amazing. We should dedicate an episode to Desperate Housewives.
No. So what I'm watching.
What about Carlos and Gabby? What do you think about them two?
Anyway, I've been watching a lot of South Park that we talked about. Been reading a lot of comics. That's kind of keeping me going.
This is a bad podcast, isn't it? It's going downhill quick.
Yeah. You should start reading comics, mate. When are you going to start?
I can't read.
When are you going to start?
I can't read.
I think you should go down to that wee comic book shop.
Oh yeah, Coffee and Comics or Coffee
and
Heroes.
Coffee and Heroes.
Yeah.
Get yourself down there. How we look around? Speak to the guy. Call him on.
They have their YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been watching a few of them, and they are very interesting. And one of their first videos was really, really interesting because for me, my biggest worry about getting into comic books, like, where the fuck do I start?
It's the hardest thing ever.
Like they've been going out for 50 years now. Like, and they've been so much different adaptations of Spider-Man, Batman. Like, where do I start? And that video was really good because it told you where you can start. Like, and you can't skip series.
Of course you can.
Yeah, but like, do you want to? I want to go back to start and see where all it came from. Like,
no, you can't. Well, maybe like you can do whatever you want, but you can't. I'm sure you can't view it like that. Like comics, it's like movies. It's like if you say they release what they do all the time, fucking new Spider-Man movies. So they're going to do a new trilogy of Spider-Man. You do not need to go, right, this new trilogy is coming out, let's go back and watch every single different incarnation of Spider-Man. It's like, no, just go and enjoy the new trilogy. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, but
do you know what I mean?
If you're going to see Spider-Man, you always recommend to go and watch Tobey Maguire's one as well, would you not? No?
Well, not necessarily.
Yeah, but you don't have to, but you want to.
No, not
really.
No? But it's up to you, like, obviously, but it's the same as, like, if a new Batman movie comes out, I'm not saying here you need to go watch Tim Burton's Batman before you watch this. It's like, I think people view comic books like that. It's like, I don't know where to start. Oh, this one's just out now, but there was another series came out 20 years ago. Should I read that? No, just read the new one. Like, don't worry about it. They're retelling the origin. That's something that I think it's hard because there's so much content, but you just need not to focus on that.
Okay, let's start now. If I'm going to start, my favorite superhero is Batman.
Yeah.
Where would I start? What is the best Batman series?
Court of Owls.
Court of Owls?
Yes, I would start there. That's where I started with Batman because I'm only starting this shit as well, so it mightn't be the best jumping in point, but there are loads of different ones. But Court of Owls is basically where you've got Batman in a world that you're familiar with. You know Gotham, right?
Yeah.
You already know that world.
Been there,
right? But it's a brand new villain. So the Court of Owls is basically an organization that runs Gotham, and it has run Gotham in the background for like hundreds of years, but Batman's never believed it's existed, but it's always been there.
Okay.
And so it's not about the Joker, it's not about all these other characters, it's just introduces a new villain, and this is a new Batman story, and you can just I can lend you the book, you can read it and see what you think.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, but
no,
with comics, it's the way I done it, and again I'm still only really getting back into them, is I started on, because it was daunting, the superhero stuff. I was like, I actually am not going to read any superhero stuff, so I just started reading independent comics. Mm-hmm. So like all the indie stuff, like the Image stuff, which is an independent provider.
Is there any local like Irish comic books? No,
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Right, you haven't come across yet. No, I think they should have that done in Coffee and Heroes.
They probably do.
Like a wee section just for like or independent shit.
Yeah, they do have like an indie section, but that's a good way to start because with the indie stuff, it's like it's a brand new world that they're building. It's a brand new story. You can just get like, I read one, Gideon Falls, it's called, and it's just a graphic novel it's like a horror story about this priest who moves into this area. It's just a story. It's like you could read it in a novel, but it's just in a comic book form. And what that done for me is like I just started being able to learn how to read a comic because it is hard. Yeah. Sometimes you're like, fuck, where do I go?
That was my problem. I told you when I started reading Fight Club 2, which is obviously the sequel to Fight Club 1. Did you know that? Yes. they released, obviously Fight Club 1's a novel and the second one's a graphic novel. I remember finding it really hard to get into a rhythm, a flow of reading it, because when you read a book, you're almost like you can fly through a book. Like you're painting the image, you're painting the scene, you're painting the characters. While obviously in a graphic novel, that's doing that for you with the imagery, and it's good. But then you have like 3 or 4 pages where there's no words. So I'm like, what's the point of this here? I skip by them. Like, was that meant to tell me something? Was that painting an image that I was meant to take into the next scene? So that's what I felt really awkward. You're reading it. That's why I didn't like reading it.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just just a different way of telling stories. Like I'd said to you before, the reason why I like it so much is because in a novel, as you say, they have to depict everything that's happening. So if you've got like a sheriff, so what I was saying, like the reason why I like it so much is because in a novel, so say you had a sheriff who was sitting in an office, you'd have a fucking paragraph or 2 paragraphs, which is great, but it describes the office, the fucking the weather outside, everything he's doing, the color, blah blah. But in a comic book, you just see him sitting in the office.
Yeah.
And then you don't need to worry about it. It already puts you in it, and then you can just focus on the dialogue between the characters, which for me is the best part of any storytelling, is people having a conversation. It's not necessarily where they're sitting or what they're like, what's around them. It's just dialogue.
Yeah, I think it. For me, sometimes like when I read a book, maybe not. It all depends on the sort of book it actually is. Like if you have like, for example, American Psycho, which is a great book, but the reason it works so well is because like when Patrick Bateman walks in the room, he over describes everyone's outfit down to the T, and that happens every room he walks into. He describes the character and describes every single person, what they wear, how they smell, how their hair is. And that obviously builds up the character he's a fucking psychopath because he's over analyzing everyone. That wouldn't work as a graphic novel because you need him to over describe everything. Yeah. Because if he doesn't, then you don't get it. There you go then. But maybe it's just there's things that wouldn't work as a comic, and there's things that wouldn't work as a book. There's different ways to tell stories, and comic books is just a different genre of storytelling. It's like I just never got into it. Like, I got into comic book heroes in terms of like I watched the cartoons and I watched the movies, but in getting into the actual comic books per se, and it wasn't really a big thing over here. In America, it was massive, like, but here it wasn't really that big.
Who do you like? Is Batman? Is that would be your sort of go-to person you're going to read?
Yeah, Batman was like the one I grew up with.
What about Superman?
No, never was. I thought he was too good. He had too much power. Well, Batman was not saying I hate saying it, but he's almost relatable. Like, you can see how you become that. Why Superman? He's just like, all right, this is like an alien basically.
Yeah, that's what it is. And see,
he's too good.
Superman to me, I love Superman. But I did have the same thoughts for a while, but then it's just occurred to me, like, because I've been rereading quite a lot of Superman stuff, and it's really interesting because it's just a different way. Because what normally happens is, like Spider-Man, for example, you get a nerd who gets bullied all his life, and then he gets power, and then he's like, fuck, I've got all this power, what do I do with it? And then that's usually the trope for most superhero films. It's usually because the people who write them are probably fucking nerds and blah blah blah, so they just imagine this shit, right? But with Superman, you've got a character who's always been powerful. So you basically have a story of a guy who's grown up in Smallville, and his uncle's telling him, you're going to change the world, so you need to make sure you change it for the better. That's the whole point of Superman. So like he's in school and he knows he's more powerful than everyone, but he's not allowed to show it. He's not allowed to, and that's what makes it interesting. It's like fuck. It's like the opposite. It's like you haven't got a character who just gets powers. You have a character who always has powers, can't reveal himself, has to literally like hold back his whole life. Because if he pushes someone, he can kill him.
But that's an origin story of Superman. That wasn't like when Superman was first released. That wasn't. That was like the first episode wasn't him as a baby growing up in Smallville. Was it?
Yeah, there's always an origin. Yeah, that
was the origin. But I mean, like the first thing we seen Superman wasn't. He wasn't a big kid
in what context?
Like issue 1.
There's loads of Smallville stuff.
Is that where it started?
Yeah, small. There you go. Superman was a baby that.
I thought it was just like that they told a story years later when they had like nothing to write about. Like, oh, that's tells origin story.
No, I think it like that's what for my issues that I'm reading the Superman it starts, and I love an origin. I'm a sucker for an origin story, and loads of people get sick of them because you kind of know what's happening. But to me, the beginning is always the best.
Makes it more relatable. Yeah. You can see how they became this.
You want to see them feel.
It's kind of like the way like. Maybe with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, like even though he's a great actor,
can get your origin with him. Really?
No, because we didn't see it. We didn't see how he became that. He was already Spider-Man when we met him. But with Tobey Maguire, we went through the struggle of him like getting bullied, becoming Spider-Man, struggling with his powers, and then becoming.
That's
Spider-Man.
When it's most interesting to me. Like whenever you've got a character that's fully established, like some of the stuff that I read, The Dark Knight Returns is a great comic where Batman is like 60. But I'm like, it's not as interesting to me because he already is who he is. Yeah. And he's already made his mistakes and he knows who he is. But I like following the journey whenever he's like, fuck, I don't know what to do here. And then he makes mistakes and he's shit and he gets better and then you kind of becomes a person and you're like, fuck, that's more interesting to me than someone who's already.
But can you see why, like when you look at the Ben Affleck one, like they didn't do an origin story?
Yes.
But even though I think they should have, in terms, because Ben Affleck is just a good actor and it's such a good idea to play Batman, it's been done so many times and people are bored of it.
Yeah,
but
I get
again,
it.
But again, I think you need to have that sometimes, even if it's really short, to show a wee bit of it.
Yeah,
you know, I think that's where they went.
They always show the death thing.
Yeah,
in Batman always.
They even showed it in thing.
Yeah,
Joker. Even though it wasn't relevant.
Wasn't relevant. They always get that in there, like, because that is
so iconic.
Yeah,
yeah. So and it's such a good scene as well. I think but like, do you think with the Rob Patterson Batman they're going to show everything?
I think so. I don't know, but I think they might, because in that case you've got a Batman who looks quite young. So for him, like Ben Affleck, if they had showed him starting out as Batman, he does look 50. So it would have been like, right, are you 20 here or what? Like, do you know what I mean? They would have had to cast a younger Batman as well.
Do you remember the cartoon Batman Beyond? Fuck me,
it's good.
That was amazing. Is that a comic book?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Alright, so that's actually based off. So that's good. I would love to read.
A lot of those movies that come out are comic series. So they've just basically, like, there's a fucking million animated
Dark
Batman
Knight
movies.
stuff.
They're all thing.
The Killing Joke and all too.
Yeah, they're all like comics and shit. I haven't read. I'm only really scratching the surface with Batman, like, but I haven't read an awful lot. But again, I would speak to your guy Alan in that shop, and he knows that I'm trying to get into them, and he's like, that's what they're good at. They're like, hey, you should read this, you should read that, we should try that. Yeah. I'm like, take my money. Because it's hard, because especially if you're only getting into comics and then someone recommends you something that you think then you're like, this is shit. You're going to be like, I don't want to read comics then.
It's like anything. Imagine someone who didn't watch movies and say, here, I'm getting into movies, recommend movies for me. You're like, what?
And then you recommend like a fucking terrible film.
Alright.
But say you do, then they're like, movies must be shit then.
Yeah.
Like, hold on.
If you because I'm sure someone can watch Star Wars and not like it if they don't like sci-fi.
Weirdos, but
fucking losers. You know what I mean? Like, or like, I love Star Trek. I recommend Star Trek, and they'd be like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because we have friends who we know who not like Star Trek.
Yeah,
or
and
Star
it's the
Wars.
same as comics, because like Jared would recommend, like he sent me an X-Men comic and he was like, I think you should try it and I think you'll like it, and I read it and I was like, I don't actually like this. I appreciate that it's good, but it's not for me, because it's a bit more like, I don't know what to say, it's a bit more sci-fi driven. The X-Men comic, it was a bit more like, I don't know, it was just out there, and I was like, I prefer like a simple like Batman story where it's not like mutants, or it's just Batman story, or even Superman story. It's like it's a bit more simplistic, whereas this X-Men comic was so complicated that it was like really hard, because it's all about like mind control and shit. I'm like, I'm not really in feeling this, but it's like it's his favorite ever comic, and I'm like, that's just the way it goes. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I kind of I don't really love the MCU as much as probably you do, because I feel like everyone has superpowers now. Like, I love Spider-Man, like Tobey Maguire ones, and the Bat, because there's only one guy able to stop this person.
Yeah.
Like, we can have like Avengers movie or Civil War movies, like, and there's like some of the Avengers aren't even in it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so what? So obviously it isn't this big of a deal. Oh, like it's the end of the world.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge.
I'm like, where's Iron Man then? If this was the end of the world, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America will
They'd all be here. Yeah.
So it obviously isn't that much of a threat. So why should I care that much?
Yeah, no, that's a common criticism of it. Like, but I obviously I think that the MCU's class, but I mean but my thing is because I'm a comic fan, or I'm also just a fan of that genre. Like, when it comes to DC, I probably love DC movies more than most people. Like, I could list the DC movies that even you could be like, that's fucking shit, that one. I still love it because it's still about these characters. Love Man of Steel. The fucking thing. Batman for Superman, see the extended edition of that? I fucking love that movie. So, but there you go. But these are DC movies.
Yeah.
And it's
I
prefer, because I like that
DC
genre.
Well.
It's because I like that genre. So it's
prefer, like if I could list most of my favorite comic book movies of all time, and probably most of them are DC, or especially Batman, like Dark Knight. You know, Batman Begins, Batman Forever. What? Batman and Robin. You know.
Yeah.
You know, George Clooney's Batman. Like, you can't beat him. Like, you know.
Bat nipples
and all. You know, bad credit cards and everything.
Yeah. But that's why it's like, it's funny because I know you think I'm this MCU guy, but I'm not. I'm a fan of the whole genre of comic book movies.
Yeah.
So it's like, you may think I'm an MCU guy, but there's DC movies that you won't like that I love. So it's like, I'm always going to be biased towards this type of movie.
Yeah, I think it's different as well. When I slag off DC movie, you're like, yeah, I know it's bad, but I liked it. Yeah, that way. So it's kind of like, well, the MCU.
Well, which one?
Well, I haven't seen Justice League with her as bad.
Oh, that's awful.
I watched Batman.
But that is actually admittedly bad. Okay. Even the people who made it are like, yeah, this is shit. That's why they're doing it like an extended version of it.
Oh, fuck off. I've seen it now. Batman vs Superman was terrible.
Did you watch the extended version?
No. Why? Yeah, why would I watch like more of a bad movie?
Because then it makes the bad movie make more sense. Because it's not just, that's what people think. It's like, there's an extra half an hour. It's not an extra half an hour, they've just added at the end.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not an extra, it's a half an hour throughout the movie. So those scenes that were cut really short, they have an extra minute on them. So it's like, oh, that makes more sense. And a minute is massive in a movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. And that's why I'm going to wait till the extended Justice League to watch that. Because I never watched that and I heard it's meant to make more sense.
Hopefully.
So I'll give that a go then. But I've already watched Batman vs Superman and it was terrible.
Was there not parts of it you thought were good?
I thought Ben Affleck was really good in it.
He was brilliant.
I think he's really good in it. I kind of wish I focused more on that there. It was a bit... It kept jumping around too much. I didn't like the idea of Was that like a dream he was in? Or it kept going where...
It was like the Flash was like doing that. It was like a Flashpoint thing.
He went like... They were in like a desert.
Yeah.
And they had Superman in chains or something.
Yeah, the Batman was in chains. And
Batman.
It was Superman. It was basically like
that was
what Clark... It was supposed to depict what Ben Affleck thought that Superman was going to be capable of, so he was going to need to stop him because Superman's taking over the world.
But that was not clear.
It wasn't clear in the thing. Yeah.
That's the main things you had there. Yeah, it wasn't. It felt like they were trying to fast track and catch up with the MCU.
Yeah.
And then just like throw Wonder Woman in. Just focus on Wonder Woman. I heard Wonder Woman. The first one's good.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. But I heard that's good because
good.
You need to give a certain character time to develop. Even though we know Batman from like the previous movies, this is a new Batman. We needed time for us to acknowledge that he was Batman. He was Bruce Wayne, and it felt like even though he was really good at it, he wasn't. It wasn't enough time for that to develop. And then trying to develop Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and as Batman, and also trying to introduce I call him again Wonder Woman, and bring in a conflict between Batman and Superman, and also bring in Doomsday with fucking Jesse Eisenberg. It's like there's too much going on here. MCU've done it really well. They give each character a fucking trilogy to develop their character. You know what I mean? Like with DC, they just skipped all that there, and soon people would just understand. There's people out there who haven't seen Batman. That's probably the first Batman movie they've seen. Yeah,
no, it definitely had problems, but if I think the extended version is great personally. But again, it's because I love these characters, so I am going to be a bit more like this is great. But I like that. Man of Steel is fucking great.
I haven't watched it since the first time I watched it.
And again, whenever I watched it in the cinema, I was like, I left going, I didn't think it was that great. But I've rewatched that in the house and I was like, what was I talking about? This is fucking class.
I think so, yeah. I don't know. I can't argue because I haven't seen it in so long.
But it's opinion anyway. Like you could watch it again and not like it, and I'll be like, that's fair enough. Like.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of certain characters. And I don't like, was it thing, who calls his dad in it?
I loved him in it.
Not his real dad.
Jonathan Kent. Yeah.
Who played him again? Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
It was like, don't save me. He's like, fuck off, save him, you dick.
No, but it was supposed to make sense for the context of the movie.
Didn't make sense.
It wasn't ready. No, he wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready to save his dad.
But that was the point. He was like, the whole point. He was honing Superman to say that you should only reveal yourself at a certain point in time. Yeah. The world is not ready for this, Clark. You're not ready.
So in the bar, when the guy's going to feed him, and he's like, I can't feed him, but he goes outside and flipped his lorry.
But that was like 10 years later.
What?
But
he didn't. But he didn't fight the guy in the bar. He's like, I can't reveal myself still.
No, he didn't fight the man in the bar because it'd be a fucking dick if he just fucking broke that guy's face. Like.
But that's the whole thing. He don't want to reveal himself still. That's the whole. That's that story. But he goes outside and flips his lorry into a tree or something. She's like, yeah, that's not fucking.
But he didn't know it was him.
Oh, come on! You know what I mean? Like,
well, sorry, if you walked outside and seen your lawyer in a tree, you would have moved.
But that brings so much more attention. That's what I mean. That's like nothing. A human can't do that. You know what I mean?
But he didn't know a human done that.
But it's still bringing a lot of attention. You know what I mean? And I love how fucking Russell Crowe's fucking character popping up every 5 minutes to tell fucking expositions. You know, well, go away. You like.
I think a movie's class.
Did you die or not? He was there more. Like, come on, he died in the first minute of the movie, but he was still. And then the first part of the movie, Michael Shannon, who's great in it. I like Michael Shannon in it. He's a great actor. They're like, oh, you're a scumbag. You're trying to overthrow the government. We're gonna fly you off to space and save your life. Like, we're all gonna die on this planet.
Put him in prison.
But then the whole plan blows up anyway. Like, so that was actually a good thing then. They benefited.
Yeah, but the point
And
was,
then-
he
No,
doesn't
that-
deserve just to die like that. He deserved to rot in prison because this was like a fortress that he could never get out of. So he was just like, but obviously he could get out. Wouldn't be a movie if he didn't get out of it, mate. But do you know what I mean?
And then the part where Meg O'Shannon and Superman are fighting, they fight for 5 minutes. They keep
Destroy the whole thing.
They keep flying away. Why does Meg O'Shannon keep flying away? Like, they fight, run away. Come back down, fight, run away. It's like,
They also destroyed like the whole city.
exactly.
But that did set up what happened in Batman for
So
Superman.
he's Superman for basically like a week, and basically he's destroyed the whole city. He's like, all right, you're actually not. I don't know. It just felt like, yeah.
Fair enough.
And that's
You're just a DC hater, mate.
and
It's
that
fine.
movie was out 6 years ago, 8 years ago,
I was probably about 8 years ago, maybe longer.
and they're only that's the only thing I can remember. It was a pretty bad movie.
I love that movie. But
Was it well received?
yeah, I think it was mixed. Like, I think there's a lot of people like me who like hold it to like this is a masterpiece, and there's a lot of people maybe like you who say it's not that good. But
I do like it more than the previous Superman movies. I thought it had looked. Henry Cavill,
Yeah, he's a good Superman.
He's great as him. Michael Shannon was a great bad guy, and we're having Russell Crowe, all great actors. I just didn't think the movie flowed that well. I felt it was like very stop-start. You know what I mean? But
fair enough.
that's just what I think about it. And yeah, and I haven't seen Wonder Woman. Heard Aquaman. I've seen bits of it and it looks
Didn't see
shocking.
Aquaman.
You know, I don't think anyone can pull off that outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a bad character. Like,
And
in
then
my opinion.
you had Justice League, which I was about to go and watch, and I just heard too much
Yeah, it
bad
wasn't
stories. So I'm like, yeah, there was. If Man of Steel was the worst it got, and it got better, then I probably would hold it up to higher regard. But because Man of Steel is the best movie, it's like, fuck off, like. If that's the best movie, no, they're all bad, fuck you. I'm throwing them under the same umbrella.
You're
here.
just DC hater, mate. You're an MCU fanboy. That's why. That's why. You, mate. You're sitting on all these DC movies, but praising these MCU ones.
I hate MCU.
But it's not funny the way you think that I am just the guy who loves MCU, but whenever I'm the one that's like passionately defending the DCU one, when everyone hates that.
But you know, I don't think you're passionately defending it the way you defend MCU.
But
You're acknowledging that you're like allowing me to
But-
hate
but, like,
DC.
yeah,
DC.
but the thing is, like,
While you
I
would
could
never
openly-
allow me to hate MCU.
no, you can hate whatever you want to hate.
Every
But do you think
Iron
it's
Man is
interesting?
a bad movie.
Do you think that's fine?
You know.
I'm not
Triggered.
I don't care.
What are you joking?
It's like, do you think it's interesting? Like, you have that opinion where I can openly tell you my favorite comic books are DC always over Marvel. Character wise, it's always DC over Marvel.
There's
So
a-
I'm being impartial when I say I think MCU have made better movies.
Yeah.
So that's all. But like, you're like, oh, but he's MCU, so he's going to say. I'm like, but I'm more DCU because I'd want that to be better because I like their characters more.
I never once said you were. I think you're an MCU fanboy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine. And I maybe became an MCU fanboy, especially in the later movies.
Yeah.
But I never once said you weren't.
But I always
that
thought
was
that
a
you
bad
think
thing.
like I prefer MC like the Marvel over DC when I don't. Do you know what I mean? I actually prefer DC over Marvel. I just think Marvel and it can be subjectively
Oh,
said.
you're going back to what I said with the Joker movie.
Just in general, like.
Oh, okay.
But whereas in general, I actually prefer DC over Marvel. I just couldn't admit that the Marvel movies have worked better.
You know, fuck. I don't think anyone would argue that there. I just think, personally, Joker is the best. Like, if I name you my top 2 comic book movies of all time, it's DC.
Yeah.
It's Joker. It's Dark Knight and Joker.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, like I feel like because I didn't like Joker that much, you're thinking because it's DC and I prefer Marvel, whereas like I actually just didn't think it was that good of a movie. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I've seen the piss out of you just
Yeah.
because I thought you were getting really defensive when I made that statement that the Joker has blew MCU out of the water.
Yeah, well, which is stupid, but
It's a better movie. All they got them Academy Awards.
yeah, but
See, only joking.
yeah, but all I was trying to say is like the fact that Joker's one of my favorite characters. So for me, this movie should be made for me. I should be the guy who goes, but I just watched it and like I can be subjective and say, I actually don't think it was that good. But it's just my opinion. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that I fucking prefer Marvel over DC or I just didn't think this particular movie was that good.
And that's the bad thing about movie reviews in general. That's why I don't go out and look for people to review a movie because it's people's opinions. Like, you're gonna have some guy who can articulate their point of view across and explain why a movie is good. That doesn't mean you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I watched that movie Lighthouse, which everyone's just like, "Oh, what a movie!" I'm like,
And you just didn't like it. It's fair enough.
I want to like it. I don't see how you can really. Well, I can see why you like it in terms of like the way it looks and how it feels, the sound and all too, and the acting is really good. But in terms I think when you take a movie, you need to take into consideration everything: storyline, how it looks, the actors, you know, and you can point out certain things that are good about a movie, like the acting in that movie was really good, how it looked was really good, how it was shot was really good. But in terms of as a whole art piece, it wasn't that enjoyable. And that's fine, but that's fine. But I hate the idea where you can't say that about certain movies. No, but I feel like you can't say it about certain movies nowadays. I feel like, oh, you just didn't get it.
Yeah, that's the same. Like for me,
didn't
whenever I
understand
said Jojo Rabbit was my favorite, or Jojo Rabbit was my favorite movie, a load of people fucking hate that movie because loads of people are like, it's racist. Do you know what I mean?
How is it racist?
I don't. That's why I was like, I don't think it is, but there are people who genuinely despise that movie because
I thought they're trying to make a mockery or make a comedy out of a serious story, but I thought it was really intelligent in the way it was mocking the Nazis.
Yeah, it's exactly what I think people. Maybe it's not right for me to say that maybe you just didn't get it, but like, because that's whenever someone says that to me, I'm like, fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They got it, but didn't like it.
Just didn't like it. But I just don't think it's racist. Like,
I don't say racist. I can understand when people say, "Oh, you're making like light of a dark situation."
Yeah.
But that's the joy of it.
You're allowed to have humor.
That's what you need to do. I think sometimes it's so easy to look back in history and look at the dark times and just like be bleak about it. And that time in history was so bleak, but he somehow made a comedy out of it. But he took the piss out of Hitler. Like he played him as a gay fella. Didn't mock him. That's what he's trying to do. I know that's not a thing to mock. But obviously that's what because
he knows that Hitler doesn't like
hated homosexuals. He hated fucking everyone, and he hated cigarettes. And he made sure he was a smoker in the movie. It was so intelligent.
I remember the bit where the kid, his mate, you know, one with black hair, and he was like, he's like, oh, are we winning? And he was like, no, it's just us in Japan now that are left. And he's like, and between me and you, they don't look very hard. And like, that's so true. It's like, why were they the allies? It's like,
You are now listening to MCPodcasting.